Two teams more than ready to get this one started. And we are underway from the Superdome. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. So here are the Buccaneers ready to go on offense with a new man at the helm here for 2023 in his 6th season now in the NFL, Baker Mayfield.
The former #1 overall pick has had his ups and downs in recent seasons, but he finished strong last year and inherits a really good offense in Tampa that should set him up for success.
Now a third-round pick a year ago. Here's Rachaad White. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
Well, give him credit for trying, but there's no fooling the defense with that call. They were reading run, and they set up to stuff the run and then executed.
Here's a 2nd and 9 now from the 29. Now Mayfield. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, he certainly thought he had a window to push that ball downfield, but as soon as he released the throw, the corner was there to slam that window shut.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. Mayfield to throw it. He's got his target. That's complete. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. 15 yards as Tampa Bay picks up the first.
Well, you want to make sure that on an opening drive that you at least stay out there for a while and get into the flow of the game. A 3-and-out would have been problematic, but that's a good throw there to ensure they get another set of downs.
First down, here's White. And a lane slowly materializing there as he'll get maybe a yard up to the 45.
You know, it's not just all athleticism from defensive linemen. Let's give them a little credit for their football intelligence as well. Read and react by them, understood the play call, and stacked it up and stuffed the run.
On 2nd down, they'll run with White. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
Pretty straightforward play there by the linebacker. He saw the run, went with straight-ahead pursuit, and dumped him behind the line of scrimmage.
3rd down and 10. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 35. A good pickup there of 22. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Mayfield looks to throw. A quick throw there is incomplete. He was looking for Chris Godwin that time. And it's 2nd down. Now back to the ground game with White. And good running, going to get this down close to a first at the Saints' 26. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop his shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Well, they needed 2. They could only get 1. 4th down.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th. They'll run for it. This is White. And he's going to get the first down as they bring him down at the 23. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down.
Well, that's what's called being aggressive right there. But I don't know that it's reckless. I think it's much more of a message, hey, defense, I believe in you in case we don't get it. And offense, trying to let them know he believes in them as well.
I like it. Your first drive of the game in plus territory, be aggressive. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
Now a 2nd and 2. They'll try to throw here. Mayfield. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And the Bucs are going to have a 1st and goal as he'll be taken down at the 7-yard line. Well, no question, this is exactly how they wanted to start this football game. And nice pass there. And now they're set up beautifully, Charles, to finish this off with a touchdown.
Yeah, but they've still got to finish it off, partner, and that means they've got to execute at this stage of the field. So we've seen many teams march it right to the goal line and not cash in. They've got something dialed up here that puts it in the end zone.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
That was a nice job defensively of disguising their coverage and making it difficult for the quarterback to lock in on a receiver, and it results in an incomplete pass.
They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. And now Mayfield on the bootleg. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And in for the Buccaneers, touchdown. Payne Durham, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Bucs will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon.
That's a good read of the situation by a quarterback. It's a sprint out to the flat, so after he fakes the handoff, he's going to give the impression this is going to be thrown to the back. Instead, he goes to the next level, and it pays off with a touchdown.
Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. Taken at the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. So here come the Saints to take over for the first time. And here's the new man under center after 9 seasons as a Raider. Derek Carr is the guy.
It's going to take some time to adjust to seeing Carr running out in a new uniform. Instead of black and silver, it's black and gold. 35,000 yards and over 200 touchdowns with the Raiders. The Saints more than willing to let him air it out all game long to a talented group of pass catchers in the Big Easy.
Carr going to lead the Saints up here 1st and 10 at their own 22. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. In his 7th season now, here's Alvin Kamara. And this will wind up a Saints first down as he'll take this up to about the 33-yard line.
A quality run by Kamara, who's the same dependable and often spectacular back the Saints drafted in 2017. Another season of nearly 900 yards rushing and 500 receiving yards.
So after the run by Kamara, now another 1st and 10. To throw, it's Carr. There's a short one to the tight end, Johnson. Short completion, just 4 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately because if you let that big guy get a head of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on first down. They'll work from the 36 on 2nd and 6. Kamara up the middle. And he'll get about 3 out of that up to the 39-yard line. And the Bucs with an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. Now Carr. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 10 yards, good for the Saints, first down.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Carr now to throw. There's a short one to the tight end, Johnson. So just 3 yards on the completion there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Ready for the 2nd quarter from New Orleans. It's the Saints in possession as they've got it 2nd and 7. Play action. Now it's Carr. It's caught on the right side. Williams. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Again, it's Carr. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Saints first down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8. Now a timeout here, at least for the moment. Looks like one of the Saints is injured, shaken up on that last play. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll pound it up the middle with Kamara. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Carr. And down he goes. A Buccaneers sack. Vita Vea forced his way through, drops him for a loss of 10 yards.
Now that's a heck of a moment for your first sack of the game, because if this long drive ends without a touchdown because of that sack, we're going to look back and say that might be one of the biggest plays of this contest.
This offense 2 for 2 on 3rd downs on this drive. They're in for a tough test here, though. 3rd and long. Here's Carr. That is caught. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 19. 3rd and 19, no problem, as they're able to convert. So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. into the red zone. It's Carr.
That is caught by Olave. Touchdown, New Orleans.
From 19 yards away.
And the Saints are an extra point away now from tying this ball game.
When you give up a long touchdown drive, you're looking for a silver lining. In this case, it's the fact that your offense had a chance to rest, and now they can come out and feel charged up and ready to go.
Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. It's up and good, and we're tied at 7 here in quarter number 2. That one in the books as a 12-play drive.
And it was Chris Olave who finished things off with a touchdown.
Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away.
And able to get this out to the 25.
Tampa Bay, they're getting ready to set up shop here for their second drive.
As this offense takes the field again, it's been a while since they've been out there. We just saw that long touchdown drive by the opposition. But remember, when this crew was out here last, Charles, they scored as well.
And let's make sure we give both offensive staff some credit, and especially the offensive coordinators, because we spoke with both of them in the lead up to this game, and both were really confident in their game plans. They felt like they had scouted their opponents and focused on specific areas in practice this week to make sure that they were ready to go. And frankly, it looks like they both did an excellent job.
Yeah, we'll see if those game plans can keep this streak of touchdowns going here.
Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks.
But that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
They'll go up the middle with White, and that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started.
Credit Brian Brzee in there to greet him and drop him for a loss.
This defense has really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense going to have to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
They go play action. Mayfield. Now we're going to get a timeout. Here's we've got an injured Buccaneer.
The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside.
The Bucs on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is third down and 12. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback.
Under pressure, Trask, and down he goes.
Bradley Roby, the ex-Buckeye, with a corner blitz and the sack.
I think you saw the same thing that I did there, partner. Remember, he's their backup quarterback, so the last thing they need is to lose another one right here on the sack. Looks like he's going to be okay, though.
Yeah, he looked like he was favoring something in the left leg. Appears to be fine now, but you're right. That O-line, they got to protect him.
A fourth down. Here's Jay Camarda on to punt for the Bucs. Deep for New Orleans is Rashid Shaheed.
It's taken to the 26. It'll be a 41-yard punt. Give them 5 on the return. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. New Orleans Saints, they get ready to set up shop for their second drive. Good drive last time. Really effective passing the football. Do you maybe mix it up, now go to the ground game and surprise the defense a little bit?
I would anticipate the defense making some changes, but I wouldn't necessarily just absolutely go in the opposite direction. They're doing so well throwing the ball.
Yeah,
I wouldn't change it up until they showed me a reason to do so.
Only able to gain a couple there, and that will bring up second down. A give. This is Kamara. And takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Carr going to throw.
Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
And that is how you respond after taking one on the chin to begin this game. Give up a first drive touchdown, go back out on defense, and completely shut them down to force a 3-and-out.
Blake Gillikin on to punt now on 4th down. Back deep for the Bucs is Devin Tompkins.
And a fair catch called for and made just outside the 15-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense.
Trask and the Bucs now going to come up 1st and 10.
At their own 17-yard line.
They'll start here with a handoff to White. Up to the 20.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that was a tough run because he only picked up 3 yards. But let's flip it over to the defensive side. They now have the advantage. 3 3-yard gains. That means they're punting the ball likely on 4th down. That's what you're looking for when you're playing defense.
2nd and 7 from the 20. Trask.
Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
But there's no trace of nervousness there. He was able to diagnose that play from his linebacker position, stay in excellent coverage, and bat the ball away.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down.
To throw is Trask.
And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. The sack coming from defensive end Cameron Jordan.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball on this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
Here comes the Buccaneers punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's able to get it out of there. Now a fair catch taken just across midfield, maybe by a yard or 2. So a change of possession here on the punt.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
A good starting spot for the Saints as they come up 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49. They begin on the ground with Kamara. And he's going to be brought down inside the 45 at the 43. Give him 7 yards on the carry, and it will take us to the 2-minute warning.
From the 43, here's 2nd and 3.
Now Carr. His throw incomplete.
The out route's such a timing route that sometimes the guy throwing the ball just throws it almost blindly, just kind of counts on that timing winning. And in this case, the ball was batted away.
A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. Now a play fake. Carr. Open man is Michael Thomas. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A pickup of 27. And they pick up the 1st down in the process. Throwing now is Carr. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the the 28. Vita Vea. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half.
Well, this defense has to feel good because they've now brought down one of the faster quarterbacks in the game multiple times. That defensive unit, they're letting us all know they get paid too. They're no slouches themselves.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up.
Smart move to throw that one away. You're in field goal range, so you definitely don't want to be loose with the ball. And that's great work by this defense to force a 4th down.
Out now is the field goal unit for New Orleans. From the right hash, this from 45 yards away. And his kick is good. Didn't hit it all that well, but he got enough on it to put it through. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
The ball upright on the tee, and the Saints kick team booms it away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. One more drive here for the Buccaneer offense in this first half. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
A little under 30 seconds to go. We'll see how they play it here on 1st and 10. Here's Trask. He finds his target. It's Evans. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half.
Let's go.
Second and 5. Now Trask. He completes it right side to White. A loss on that play, and now 3rd down gets tougher. 3rd and 6.
I really like the angles that the tacklers came from on that play. They secured inside, took away the cutback. The sideline's there, so you can only go so far outside, and they were able to close in and tackle him for a loss.
Yeah, they used your boy over there, the 12th man. Sammy Sideline, right?
Sammy Sideline. You know something? He tackles pretty well, too.
He's tougher than an airport steak. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts.
So as they talk it over, we step aside. Fourth down, so Jake Camarda is out there.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And they may just be content to take this 3-point lead and head into the locker room. And an anxious moment or two there, but they do get him down. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. To throw his Carr. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
The final shot here before half for Carr. And that is incomplete. So it's halftime here in New Orleans with the Saints out in front. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, back to you two in just a bit. But first, welcome everyone to downtown Orlando and our EA Sports Halftime Report. For the Saints, this is why they signed him. They got a strong performance from their quarterback, Derek Carr. He was on point, throwing a touchdown pass to help his guys take the lead into the break.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. A good, tight football game thus far. 10-7 the score as we resume action on EA Sports. And he won't quite make it to the 25. Now the Saints going to take over on offense to begin this third quarter. This offense set to begin the third quarter. And, Charles, if they had a checklist of things they wanted to accomplish in the first half, certainly at the top of that list would be having the lead, and they've got that here.
That's always the most important box to check, isn't it? But also, they've had some success in their passing game, so probably an empty box establishing the run. They're on pace for fewer than 100 yards in this one, so now they want to make sure that they get that going so they truly have a control in this ball game, and down the stretch, being able to be balanced, either throw it or run it, and try and win this ball game.
2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a third here, and it's good for a first. On play action, it's Carr. And that one too wide and incomplete.
And when you're in a one-score game in the second half, now's not the time to force the football into places where you shouldn't. And that's a smart decision to just get that one out of there.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Here's Johnson with a reception. And he will go out right near the 35-yard line. That one good for 26 and a first down.
Good job there of getting his tight end involved because he lines up on the right side of the formation, just works his way across the field. I really like how they were in sync on that one. He spotted the open gap in the zone, and his quarterback found him, and they get a first down.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line.
48 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Finding Johnson on the out route. That's complete. And so close. He gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. That one goes for 24 yards.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taking them no time at all to get down here. And now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
Kamara will score. Touchdown, New Orleans.
Circle that drive because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give them a little cushion.
Well, let's take it into the boxing ring. You talk about them commanding it, keeping the fight where they wanted to, whether it was in the center of the ring or putting them on the ropes because it was jab, jab, jab. And finally, the haymaker to put that drive away.
Extra point right down the middle. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. The ball upright on the tee, and the Saints kick team booms it away.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the second half. Well, the opposition laid down the challenge and opening drive touchdown here to start the second half. And, Charles, now you feel like this group needs to get an answer because this all of a sudden is a two-score game.
Yeah, you're right about that. What was a small, manageable spread to overcome? A little bit more daunting now. I think you're exactly right. Pressure is on because you don't want them getting the ball back with a chance to really extend this lead out.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on third down. And you know what offenses want? Win first down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on first down. Mayfield now on second down.
That's complete. It's Chris Godwin.
That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And that will bring up 3rd and 1. They'll try to pick this up on the ground with White. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
And now Mayfield on the bootleg. Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
And that's one of the better plays we've seen this offense put together so far. They haven't been able to get on track much at all. But listen, they're only down a couple of scores with the rest of this quarter and the entire fourth remaining. So, stranger things have happened.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 34. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. Left side here, that's complete to Godwin. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. This duo locked in, 14 yards there, and a first down. Now Mayfield. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34.
That's the former Buckeye Pete Werner getting the sack.
Even the most elusive quarterbacks have those tough days where they can't avoid sacks, and this is one of them. 3rd time he's gone down. He might develop some happy feet now, wanting to escape the pocket and try and gain more yardage with his legs.
So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Throwing, Mayfield. Over the middle, he finds Godwin, complete. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Mayfield to throw it.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And this is an offense in need of getting a few good things to happen. Here's one right here. They've had their share of struggles in key moments, but that's a nice throw and nice work after the throw, and they're set up now with a 1st and goal.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
White, oh, he's going absolutely nowhere as he is hit behind the line.
That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
This is a critical sequence here for this offense. Things really haven't gone their way so far. This could be their chance to get back into it, but they've got to find a way to punch this ball in.
On 2nd down, it's Vaughn.
And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3.
Sometimes I get caught in hyperbole, but I think they desperately need to punch this one in. They're running out of time.
Yeah, 2-score game, second half. You're down here. This is the time to put it in the end zone.
Man, not going to get much better than this for an opportunity.
So can this New Orleans defense stand tall again? 3rd and goal. Mayfield looks to throw. This is a diving effort by Evans. What a catch. And Evans hauls it in. Touchdown, Bucs. Mike Evans with an amazing diving catch.
And the Buccaneers have cut it back within a score. So a strong drive here to lead off this 3rd quarter and gets them right back in this football game.
And I think we can safely call that a statement drive because they had to be saying, we didn't put our best foot forward in the first half, but we certainly mean business now. Maybe a better term, a prove-it drive. They proved it to themselves that they were ready to go.
The extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The New Orleans offense set to take over. Pretty important 3rd quarter drive for them. Momentum has sort of shifted the other direction after that last touchdown as they nurse this small lead. Carr going to lead the Saints up here 1st and 10.
Just shy of the 30. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive.
He'll get this one underneath to Kamara.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
On 2nd down, Kamara. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. That one a 1st down pickup of 8. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Here's Carr. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It'll be a Saints first down on a gain of 16 yards.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. A 10th carry for Kamara.
And a very determined run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 27. Good effort.
12 more yards there and another first down.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front seven, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
Staying on the ground on first with Kamara.
And just good downhill running there as he'll take this to the 15-yard line.
That's a 12-yard gain now on back-to-back plays.
And that's the type of run that they're looking for because they'll need to continue to rely on him to move the sticks in this tight game in order to preserve this lead.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
Into the red zone, it's Carr. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Now he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on 2nd down. Carr. And his throw here's incomplete. Traquan Smith, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and short. Carr now to throw.
And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
In the red zone, precision is the watchword. If the throw's a little too early, too late, maybe off a little bit, going to be a good chance that any attempt is going to be a contested one, and that one falls incomplete.
Carr going to go on 4th down.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And he'll be touched down here, but not before he does pick up the first. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Try to pound it in, Kamara. And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans.
Alvin Kamara, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Saints get an important score there to extend their lead here in this 4th quarter.
And that right there is the definition of a statement drive. You're in the 4th quarter, trying to get to the finish line, and here they were able to hold the ball for a long time and move it down the field. And how about them finishing it off with the touchdown run? Winning football 101? Check that box.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And he returns this to the 22.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now.
And you figure after giving up that last touchdown, they trail by 2 scores here in the 4th quarter. This drive becomes very critical. Now Mayfield and the Bucs come up on 1st and 10
at their own 22. They begin the drive on the ground. It's White. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down.
42 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries.
A quality pickup from White, who really earned more time as the Bucs starter the back half of last season. Finished with close to 400 yards in the Bucs' final 8 games. Positioned himself as the leader in the backfield moving forward.
A first down throw for Mayfield.
The throw here right sideline falls incomplete.
Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
2nd and 10. Here's Mayfield. That's complete to White. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a one-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 38. They run straight ahead here with White. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon.
On 2nd down, they'll run with White. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
Meanwhile, Mayfield's throw taken in by Palmer.
That'll go for a gain of 7, and it's 2nd down. And now they're in the hurry-up. Now a 2nd down throw for Mayfield.
Well, if you're going to give out a little applause on that play, it has to go to the defense. More good work by them. They've taken away the passing lanes all game long, and you can see the frustration that it's causing because he just about threw that one into the 1st row.
The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3.
Now back to the ground game with White.
And he will have the 1st down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive continues.
The running game's played a huge part in getting them down to this point on the field. I say stay with it. Keep pounding the football. Keep driving. Keep grinding.
Yeah, even down in the red zone, keep going for it.
No doubt about it. Dance with what brung you.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it.
Picked off by Paulson Adebo. And the Saints are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Well, I mean, field goals probably aren't going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here. Maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game. But give credit to this defense. They've really stood tall throughout, and they come up with the interception in the end zone.
Carr going to lead the Saints up here 1st and 10
at the 20.
He'll start with a give to Kamara.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Kamara gets it again on 2nd down.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35.
99 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
5 points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on 1st down.
And now right out of the 2-minute break, will get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go.
Let's go. Let's go right here. Let's go.
Here's a 2nd and 5.
A man who's been busy this afternoon. It's Kamara again. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this 4th quarter of play. The Bucs with an extra defender now in the secondary here on 3rd down. Now Carr.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Here comes the Saints punter now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds.
So Mayfield and the Bucs
down 24-14. 1:45 to play. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on 1st down.
Mayfield to throw. That's caught by Palmer.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45.
Well, they're not going to go quietly. That's a big play right there. 2 scores down. They're not out of this, but they've got to move.
One timeout at their disposal, but more pressing is the need for 2 scores, obviously. Here's 1st and 10. Now Mayfield. And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch. Is the arm there? The leg's still there? This has been a tough game.
They'll try again here. 2nd and 10. Here's Baker.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there.
Mayfield.
Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Palmer. And a good job on the tackle there as they get him down shy of the 1st on the 35-yard stripe.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Saints will have the football back. Well, they had to take one final shot at the end zone, but now things are looking really bleak.
And I agree with that totally. You had to take the shot if they did score. You know, whether you call it a miracle or not, you line up, onside kick, get the ball back, throw one more in the end zone, who knows? Had to take the chance. It just was unsuccessful.
The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee. The Bucs forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it here.